Hey, everybody, what's going on? Danny here, Griswold Family Vacay, along with Adrian, Mr. Pox Rain, and welcome to our 2022 college football season bowl game prediction show with analysis and matchups and kind of headlines for the games and all that. So, Adrian, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Doing good. All right. How you want to do this? You want to walk through the games first and talk about which ones there are? First off, how many bowl games are there? There's a ton in there.
There are a ton.
Jeez.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,
Hey, Amy.
34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 40, 42.
42, and that's not including the four playoff
That is
games?
including. That is including.
Okay, so the
Well, I
top
guess
four
not all four.
the top four teams going in are who?
Number one, where
Georgia.
is it? Yeah. Number one, Georgia Bulldogs. Number two, Michigan Wolverines. Number three, TCU Horned Frogs. Number four, Ohio State Buckeyes.
So the two matchups for the what are the two bowl games that are going to be for the playoffs?
Hold on.
Peach Bowl, I believe, is one. Cheez-It Bowl, no.
Yeah, Peach Bowl and Fiesta Bowl.
Fiesta Bowl. Okay. All right. You want to walk through these bowl games first, and then just tell what all of them are, and then we'll go through and break down each one, or how do you want to do it? Hey, Paul, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in.
You know, just to save time, we'll just go and do it all in order.
Do it all at once.
Yeah.
Hey, Street Element, thanks for being here.
All right. So let's go ahead and bring this bad boy up. So the first bowl game, every year, the very first bowl game is the Bahamas Bowl. This year is going to be December 16th, our last day of school, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 Central on ESPN. From the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in Bahamas. I believe that's in Nassau. I believe the football stadium is actually right next to Atlantis. Might even be at Atlantis. But the two teams that are playing are going to be Miami of Ohio versus UAB. What you got, Adrian?
So all this right here is off of ESPN. ESPN has UAB with a 76.7% chance to win. Miami, Ohio at a 23.3% chance to win. And UAB is actually favored by 10. And
UAB is favored by 10?
Yeah. Points per game. UAB 30, Miami, Ohio 20. Points allowed per game. UAB 23, Miami, Ohio 22. And strength of schedule would probably be UAB. They go against the better teams. UAB rushing is very good. They are getting 243 yards per game, while their passing only gets about 198 yards per game. Their running back has 1,713 yards and 19 touchdowns of the season so far. So that's pretty good. And But it looks like Miami, Ohio's rush defense is actually a lot better than their pass defense. Rush defense allows 135 yards per game, while their pass defense allows 235 yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
And both passing. Both teams are not the greatest at passing. So what do you think? What is your prediction?
You pulled up. You got that information from ESPN. You said.
Yeah.
I got some information from Fox, and it says that this game is as much about UAB earning their 5th straight bowl appearance. So they've been to 5 straight bowl games, which is good for them for sure. This is their UAB earning their 5th straight bowl appearance. Oh, my bad. This is their 5th straight bowl game, excluding the COVID-19 season. The biggest story for UAB, though, is they have named a new head coach, which is former NFL quarterback Trent Dilfer. He's going to be taking over as UAB head coach starting in 2023. And Miami, Ohio is fighting to lay claim to a winning season. So both of these teams right here, I don't remember if you said this or not, their records. But both teams going into this bowl game are 6-6. So you took UAB?
Yeah, I'm going to go with UAB.
I probably will take UAB as well.
But I do not think they're going to cover. I think it's going to be a close game.
You'll take UAB as well, Leonard? All right. So the next game up is the Cure Bowl from Exploria Stadium in Orlando, Florida. It's going to verse number 25, University of Texas San Antonio, versus number 24, Troy. And that's at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Same day, I believe. So both of these teams, what I found here, Adric, is that both of these teams are conference champs. UTSA is Conference USA champ, and Troy is the Sun Belt Conference champ. So for Troy, it's an outstanding year that featured former walk-on linebacker Carlton Marshall breaking a FBS record for tackles in a career. 545 tackles while winning the league title. For UTSA, it's yet another achievement for a program that did not exist 17 years ago. UTSA, it seems like they're always in a bowl game. The Roadrunners, what was it? Was it last year or the year before? They went through most of the season undefeated.
You know what?
Remember that?
I'm surprised you say that because they have completely turned their entire program around. Because they would be the team that if it was Texas or Oklahoma State going against, we'd always be like, okay, yeah, UTSA, nobody's there. They suck. Free win.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems like they're doing really well for themselves. Last year they went 12-2. This year they're 11-2. And in 2019, they went 4-8.
Paul said the coordinator of UTSA used to be at Arkansas, the defensive coordinator. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'll pick UTSA. I don't even know. You haven't talked about the point spread or anything like that. So why don't you go ahead and do that first? And then I'll.
I was also thinking of going with UTSA until I looked at Troy. Both teams 11-2. Troy is favored by 1. Matchup predictor ESPN. UTSA has a 56.3% chance to win. Troy has a 43.7% chance to win. UTSA gets 38 points per game. They allow 26 points per game. Troy, they get 26 points per game, and they allow 17 points per game. So Troy's defense is pretty good, and strength of schedule, To win their conference, UTSA had to beat North Texas. They beat them 48-27. Troy had to beat Coastal Carolina, which has also turned their program around and is also doing really well for themselves. They beat them 45-26. So at first I said UTSA, but I'm actually going to switch it and say Troy wins. And they go to 12-2.
Troy wins?
Yeah, I'm going to say Troy wins. It should honestly be a very high-scoring and close game, but I think Troy's going to win just because their defense is going to probably step up towards the end of the game.
Okay. Next game. The next game that's on the schedule is Cincinnati versus Louisville. Cincinnati versus Louisville. They're going to be playing on this Saturday, December the 17th, in the Fenway Bowl, which is kind of cool. They're going to be playing on a baseball field. They're going to be playing at Fenway Park where the Red Sox play. Going to be some good games in the lesser bowls. You're right. You're right. Barry Looney Jr. was interim head coach before Pittman. Cool. So it says, with the Bearcats still looking for the 44th head coach of their – yeah, because their coach, Luke Fickell, went to – help me out, Adric. The Cincinnati coach took the job at Notre Dame, was it? No.
Utah.
Help us out, Paul.
Utah. I don't know.
Where did Luke Fickell go?
Georgia.
He left Cincinnati, become the head coach of just in the
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, there it is, in the past week. Yeah, so it says, with the Bearcats still looking for the 44th head coach for their program, it feels difficult to pick against Scott Satterfield and the Cardinals in this 80-mile rivalry spanning 102 years, but bring the keg of nails anyway because it's going to be a fist fight. So Fox has Louisville as their winner, but I want to see what you have to say. I'm just wondering how much these coaching changes right at the very end of the season, how much these coaching changes are going to play a part in the bowl games.
Yeah. ESPN and Fox, same thing. Louisville, they have them favored 1.5. Louisville has a 55.5% chance to win. And Cincinnati is getting 31 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. Louisville, they get 27 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And if I'm looking at strength of schedule in these past 5 games, I definitely give it to Louisville. They went against Wake Forest, Clemson, and Kentucky. Is NC State? They've fallen off, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say they're 8. No, they're 8-4. They're respectable. So, yeah. And they beat NC State.
Cincinnati lost a lot of players from last season. Their quarterback is gone. Sauce Gardner's gone. Kobe Bryant is gone to the NFL as well. So both their cornerbacks are gone. Their quarterback is gone. So they've lost a lot from last year, and they still ended up having a pretty successful season. So You went with who? Louisville?
No, I haven't chosen anyone yet, but I think I'm gonna. Cincinnati is 9-3, Louisville 7-5. But I think I'm still gonna go with Louisville in this game. Yeah, just go Louisville.
I think I'm gonna go with Cincinnati in this game. I do want to remind everybody or let anybody know who's watching that we do have a college bowl pick'em that we play. It's a $5 buy-in, and winner takes the pot. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm gonna put my email address. I'm gonna put my email address right here. And you guys can message me. You guys can look me up on Facebook, join our Facebook group. I think StreamYard is posting our Facebook group link as we are going. So if you guys are interested, just let me know. All right, Paul brings up an interesting point, and that I believe, Paul, is actually our very next game we're going to be talking about, and that is none other than Jackson State versus North Carolina in the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta Celebration Bowl. That's going to be on at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern noon time on Saturday, December 15th. This is going to be pinned to HBCU schools, which is historical black college and universities, against one another. So Jackson State will look to finish their season undefeated. So they have not lost this year. Where they win this game, serving as the Black College Football National Championship game. JSU is no sure bet to win this game, though, having lost it to South Carolina State last year. It's also going to be the last game Deion Sanders coaches at JSU before permanently taking over Colorado, a job he accepted on the eve of Selection Sunday following the Tigers' second straight SWAC championship victory. So that's good. I have a lot of respect for Deion that he's going to at least coach the last game, at least coach their bowl game. That's good. So I got a lot of respect for him for that, because a lot of coaches, when they take a new job, they just straight up and leave. So it'll be interesting to see how he does at Colorado. Paul says, I like prime time to Colorado. Give him 4 years to see what he can do. I hear you.
Welcome, Meg. Thank you for coming to live stream.
What say you, Adric?
Well, disrespectfully, absolutely disrespect. ESPN has nothing, absolutely nothing for this game.
Nothing for the whole game?
Yep. No percentages, no averages, nothing. So we're going to just flat out give the prediction. I think it's going to be Jackson State.
I think it's going to be Jackson State too, and so does Paul. He says primetime leaves undefeated. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, this next game pins a team that I really like, a school that I really like, that just kind of fell off the edge of a cliff, and I'm not sure why. But that is the New Mexico Bowl, which is going to be played in the University Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it's basically just going to be played in the University of New Mexico's football stadium. Just following a 4-1 start, the BYU Cougars look like they were contending for a New Year's Six Bowl bid, only to lose their next 4 games in a row. Now they're riding a 3-game winning streak, helped by running back Christopher Brooks, who has averaged 6.6 yards per carry and posted back-to-back 100-yard rushing performances in BYU's last 2 outings. The Cougars will need Brooks if they hope to slow down Rhett Lashley's explosive Mustangs. Quarterback Tanner Mordecai threw for more than 3,300 yards in the regular season, including a performance against Houston where he threw for 379 yards and recorded 10 TDs. What?
Mm-hmm.
In one game?
That's what I was. Remember? You don't remember that? I was telling you
yeah.
they might beat the record.
9 through the air in SMU's 77-63 win against Houston last month. So Fox's pick for this game is BYU. Do you have anything on this game?
ESPN has SMU. SMU is favored by 1.5. SMU has a 52.5% chance to win. BYU has a 47.5% chance to win. SMU averages 38 points per game. They allow 34 points per game. BYU, they average 32 points per game. They allow 30 points per game. And I don't really know about the strength of schedule, because both have some good teams and then it's bad teams. I don't know. We'll say it's kind of even, but I'm going to go with SMU. I
SMU?
think, yeah, I think their offense is going to be just too much for BYU to handle.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like you said, they've completely fallen off. Like it is horrible how much they just at the very beginning of the year they looked they looked good, but
Yep.
ooh, good grief, these past couple of months have been horrible for them. And I'm going to give SMU the win.
Give SMU the win. Yeah. I may be going with my heart more than my gut on this one, but I'll pick BYU.
That's so biased.
All right. Next game takes you out west. That's going to be the LA Bowl. About time they had a team play in that stadium this year. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It's going to pin Fresno State versus Washington State. This game's going to be at 3 Eastern time on the 17th. Says this game features two of the more underrated quarterbacks on the West Coast, and the Cougars' Cameron Ward and the Bulldogs' Jake Haener. Expect offensive fireworks in Inglewood. And Fox's pick is Washington State. So let's hear a little bit more about these quarterbacks.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Washington State quarterback. This year, he has 3,094 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Fresno State quarterback has 2,616 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yep.
All right.
And what's it say about the game?
Fresno State is favored by 1, but they have Washington. They say this makes no sense. Washington State has a 57.2% chance to win, while Fresno State has a 42.8% chance to win. Yet they favor Fresno State. Washington State, they get 28 points per game. They allow 22 points per game. Fresno State, they average 30 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And strength of that schedule definitely goes to Washington State. They have to play Washington, Utah, and more. If I go back more weeks, Wisconsin, Oregon, USC, and Oregon State. So, yeah, definitely give strength of schedule to Washington State. But even with saying that, I'm going to go with Fresno State to win this game. And I think an upset. I think more people are going to think that Washington State's going to win this game. But I'm going to go with Fresno State just because their defense seems pretty good. I expect their running game to do really good. And that's it. That's my prediction.
I pick Washington State. Paul picks Washington State on that one. The next game is the Lending Tree Bowl, which is at Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, and that pins Rice versus Southern Miss, and that's going to be at 5:45 p.m. Eastern as well on December 17th. It says for Rice, this game is cause for celebration. Try to guess the last year that Rice was in a bowl game.
Okay, first, have they ever made a bowl game?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure because it is. I'm going to go 1964.
1964?
1972.
It's a lot more recent than you guys think.
Oh, really?
1984.
1983.
The Owls are bowling for the first time since 2014,
Oh, wow, really?
with an outstanding shot to finish the season without a losing record. There is certainly reason to believe they can defeat the Golden Eagles as they're riding a 2-game winning streak, but they'll play a program that fought its way to 6-6 after winning just 3 games in 2021, and which had just 62 scholarship players when USM coach Will Hall arrived. So Fox's pick is Southern Miss.
And is this an error or am I saying this correct? Rice is 5-7.
Probably.
You know what? I was very shocked. I was like, wow, Rice actually made a bowl? Or what's their
That just
record?
tells you because there's so many daggone bowl games.
Mhm.
Not every team that goes to a bowl game is going to have. Remember that one year that Texas didn't go and you were mad?
Yeah.
They didn't have a winning season, but you still thought since there were so many bowl games that they would have a chance to go.
Mhm.
I don't know how
But-
they picked those exactly.
Yeah. For a second, I really thought they were good because I also remember seeing them win a couple of games, like on the Google and stuff. But no, they're still 5-7, and they still lit up 33 points per game, while they only get 25 points per game. And Southern Miss gets 24 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. So this right here is just going to be a garbage bowl. See 2 teams fighting out in the trash can.
Oh, Lord.
Southern Miss favored by 7. They have a 66.4% chance to win. Rice has a 33.6% chance to win. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Southern Miss.
I'm going to go with Southern Miss as well. Did Paul pick one?
Yeah, he picked Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. Rice is the Harvard of the South. I believe it. All right. So your next game is this one's actually kind of good. The next game is your Las Vegas Bowl, baby. Woo! Las Vegas Bowl. Heck yeah. That's at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's going to pin your Darren's Florida Gators against number 14, OSU.
Oregon State.
Oregon State University Beavers.
Did you see
7:30
the spread?
Eastern time, huh?
Did you see the spread? Now, whenever I first saw this, I thought it was very disrespectful to Oregon State because they had a really good year. They went 9-3, and Florida went 6-6. But Oregon State is favored by 10.5.
Good.
Yeah, I think they're going to cover as well. I think they're going to kill the Gators. We don't usually hear that, huh? The Beavers killing the Gators. Oregon State has a 57% chance to win, while Florida has a 43% chance to win. Florida averages 31 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. Oregon State averages 32 points per game. They allow 21 points per game. And yeah, I think Oregon State's going to kill them.
Paul's picking Florida. Here's what Fox has to say about this matchup. Although Oregon State seems to have been in a state of transition at quarterback for 2 years running, the Beavers are looking to cap off their best season since 2006. That was the last time they won 10 games in a season. That's crazy. I thought they were better than that. For the Gators, it's a chance to remind the nation it beat the Pac-12 champions in Week 1, Utah, with another win against a Pac-12 member. It would also earn a winning season for Billy Napier's year 1 in Gainesville. But yeah, I'm going for Oregon State as well. For sure. Now, this next game is a home game for North Texas, pretty
Really?
much, because it's the Frisco Bowl. They're playing this game at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. You've been in that stadium several times, Adric. That's where FC Dallas plays. So they're going to be playing at FC Dallas' stadium. North Texas versus Boise State, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Broncos will walk into Frisco having won 7 of their last 8 games, but having lost 27-13 to UTEP. That's the same UTEP the 7-6 Mean Green defeated 31-13. The two programs are meeting for the first time since 2000, with the series tied 3-3. Fox actually has North Texas picked to win.
You saying that 3-3 really made me remember that Winsipedia website. So from now on, I'll just go to. We'll also get the head-to-head matchups. It really could be a toss-up, but ESPN says otherwise. Boise State is favored by 10. They have a 61.5% chance to win.
Amen.
North Texas has a 38.5% chance to win. North Texas averages 34 points per game. They allow 31 points per game. Boise State, they average 29 points per game. They allow 18 points per game. And strength of schedule, I think, definitely goes to Boise State.
Yeah, you would think.
And
So
for my prediction, they're not going to win by 10, but they're going to win Boise State.
And
I think it'll be a close game, but I think Boise State will still win that one.
I agree with you. Boise State. I don't see North Texas. I mean, I'll have a lot of respect for them if they do win.
Yeah. Another team that's kind of turned their program around as well, huh?
North Texas?
Yeah, kind of. Because it's North Texas, right? Another team where if you're going against them, you think it's going to be a free win.
What up, Scott?
But this year, they're at a respectable 7-6. And I think they had a decent record last year as well.
I think they fired their coach, too. At the end of the season, he's fired. Luttrell. Pretty sure I saw something that said they're firing their coach. He's been there, I think, for 7 years.
Last year they went 6-7, losing record, but still respectable.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm just looking right now. Southern Miss went 3-9 last year.
Yep. That's what it said. It said they won 3 games last year. Now they made a bowl game, so that's a pretty big improvement in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to move on?
Yes, I am.
Next game is the Myrtle Beach Bowl from Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Kakalaki. There's no typo here. That's the Yukon Huskies you see on the bowl calendar for the first time since. Try to guess.
Is this one in the 1900s?
Nope.
It's not. Okay. 2008.
Later.
2010.
Later.
2000. Oh, good grief. 2014.
Almost.
2013.
Other way.
15.
That's the Yukon Huskies you see on the bowl calendar for the first time since 2015.
Hey!
With a chance at the program's best finish since 2010 when the Huskies faced OU in the Fiesta Bowl. but they'll have to get past the sneaky good Marshall team that beat Notre Dame in South Bend. What say you, sir?
I got to sneeze. Hold on.
Hey, James, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome in.
It
He
went
has
away.
to
Never
sneeze.
mind.
Hold on.
It went away. We're okay now.
Oh.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people expected. Marshall favored by 10. They have a 79.8% chance to win, while Connecticut has a 20.2% chance to win. Marshall averages 24 points per game. They allow 16 points per game. Connecticut, they average 19 points per game. They allow 26 points per game. And strength of schedule, I think, probably goes to Marshall. And I think Marshall will probably kill him.
God.
And you see a lot of
I
dead
agree.
wolves on the beach.
I do agree. I think Marshall will win. I don't know about killing him, but I like Marshall's backstory. James, that's a good point, buddy. Navy and Army this weekend. Touche. That would be a game to stream. That'd be a really cool game to stream. But the thing about that is you guys both have doctor's appointments. Eye doctors.
So Marshall and Connecticut have gone against each other one time. That was back in 2015, where Marshall won 16-10.
16-10. All right. So we both take Marshall on that one, and Scott takes Marshall as well. Paul takes Marshall as well. All right. Next one is a grocery store that we used to have, but we no longer have anymore, and that is Albertsons Stadium, our famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Idaho Potato Bowl. Albertsons Stadium in Boise, Idaho. I'm guessing this might be where Boise State plays. Probably.
I have no idea.
It's going to be Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State. Eastern Michigan stepped into the national spotlight when the Eagles upset Arizona State 30-21 this season. Eastern Michigan seeks its first bowl victory since 1987.
Wow.
That year, the Eagles not only knocked off San Jose State 30-27, but they won 9 games. With a win against San Jose State, they'll win 9 games for the first time since, 1987. Fox's prediction is Eastern Michigan.
They're going to have to wait one more year for that 9 wins, because I actually have San Jose State winning this game, and I'll tell you why. ESPN has them favored by 3.5. They give San Jose a 66.5% chance to win, and they're giving Eastern Michigan a 33.5% chance to win. Eastern Michigan, they average 28 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. San Jose State, they average 27 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. Strength of schedule, let me look real quick. I think I'm going to have to go with San Jose State.
San Jose State. I'm going to be biased on this one.
Oh, no.
I'm going to pick Eastern Michigan as well because actually one of my favorite, probably one of my top 5 favorite NFL football players went to Eastern Michigan.
No idea.
Defensive end, Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
Max.
Yeah, you want me to say it? Max Crosby.
Max Crosby. Yeah.
Congratulations.
You didn't know he went there?
No.
Oh. Yeah, he's probably the best player they've ever had there, huh? All right, next game. Boca Raton Bowl from the FAU Stadium in Boca Raton, Florida. It's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's going to be Liberty versus Toledo. We have Liberty's old quarterback on the Titans, huh?
Yep.
The Flames have never lost a bowl game and look to move to 4-0 with a win against the Rockets. But that might prove difficult with a new head coach, former Coastal Carolina coach Jamie Chadwell, taking the reins after Hugh Freeze accepted the head coaching job at Auburn earlier this month. And that's before you find out Toledo is coming off winning their 4th MAC championship in school history and are undefeated against Liberty, winning their last contest 35-34 on October 6th of 2007. Fox's pick for this one is Toledo.
ESPN has it completely 50-50.
Oh, that helps.
Yep. Toledo favored by 4.5. Liberty averaged 28 points per game. They allow 25 points per game. Toledo averages 32 points per game. They allow 25 points per game. And strength of schedule. Let me look real quick. I'd probably have to go with Liberty.
Really?
Toledo's only like good team was Ohio State, which they got killed in. But they did play Ohio for the championship, conference championship. They did win that game 17-7. So what do you got in this game?
This game?
Yeah, I'm still
gonna go
thinking.
with Toledo. Go with the Rockets. Paul said Liberty. Scott said Liberty. Liberty is a sleeper. Just ask. Oh, they beat Arkansas, huh? Yeah.
Yep, 21-19. They beat BYU 41-14. But then they lost to Connecticut, Virginia Tech, New Mexico State.
I know by
So
now
Liberty-
everyone has
Yeah.
seen where Primetime will be coaching next season. Yeah, Colorado Buffaloes. We actually talked about we covered the Jackson State bowl game and talked about Primetime leaving. And he's actually going to stay and coach the bowl game. So I got a lot of respect for him for that. Right.
I'm gonna go Toledo. Just because
You are
Liberty
too? You
is on
changed
a,
it?
I didn't change. I didn't pick anything yet.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Toledo just because Liberty has lost 3 games in a row, and they're all to pretty bad teams.
All right. If there's any games in here that you guys would like to see us do a play-by-play of as well, feel free to throw those into the chat. And if either one of you guys that are in here, Scott or Paul, would like to join us on any of those games, just let us know. The next game is the New Orleans Bowl, Wednesday, December the 21st, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know anything about either of these two teams. Western Kentucky versus South Alabama. The Hilltoppers are looking for their 9th win of the season, and are led by star quarterback Austin Reed, who has thrown for 4,200 yards and 36 touchdowns this season. But they'll face Kane Womack's 10-2 Jaguars, who are a threat to win 11 games to cap off the best season Southern Alabama has ever had. Fox's pick for this game is South Alabama.
Well, ESPN making no sense again has South Alabama favored by 7.5, but they have Western Kentucky with a 58.7% chance to win, and South Alabama with a 41.3% chance to win. Western Kentucky, they get They average 36 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. South Alabama, they average 31 points per game. They allow 19 points per game. And strength of schedule would probably have to be.
James, you're welcome to join as well, buddy.
I don't know. Actually, it seems pretty even a little
Pretty
bit.
even?
It seems even, yeah. Which is kind of surprising to me. What do you have in this game?
Oh, by the way, this game's going to be played. I don't know if I said it, but it's going to be played where the Saints play, or so-called play, the Superdome. This game here, I want to go for South Alabama. That's who I pick. And you know me, Ajik. I really don't have any rhyme or reason for picking teams. I just
Yeah. Nope.
Whatever comes to me, I go with. That worked out real well for me on the college pick'em this year. By the way, this guy, first place, second time, college pick'em champion.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw something on Facebook that you won it like 5 years ago as well.
I did. 5 years. Oh, anniversary. Woohoo. I'm gonna have to go with South Alabama.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Their defense seems pretty good. I mean, they're gonna hold down the Western Kentucky offense just enough. So yeah, I'll go with South Alabama, but they're not going to cover. It'll be a close game.
This next game is going to be very interesting. This is the Armed Forces Bowl, which is going to be played at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. And this is the Baylor Bears versus the Air Force Falcons. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, this Thursday, December 22nd. Says Baylor will look to snag a 3-game losing streak against one of the best rushing teams in the country. Just 3
yeah, we
weeks.
watched that firsthand.
Just 3 weeks after Baylor coach Dave Aranda let go his mentor and defensive coordinator Ron Roberts, the 9-3 Falcons average more than 330 yards on the grounds and hold the ball for more than 36 minutes on average. Fox is picking this game. Baylor.
Yeah, same for ESPN. Baylor is favored by 6.5. And matchup predictor, Baylor at a 69%, Air Force 69.1%, and Air Force at a 30.9%. Baylor averages 33 points per game. They allow 26 points per game. Air Force, they average 27 points per game. They allow 13 points per game. And strength of schedule definitely goes to Baylor. What's your pick for this one?
Air Force. They're boring, though.
They are boring,
It's very
but they
boring.
win. But they win, though. See? They win.
We got a mixed reaction from the crowd here. James says Baylor, Scott says Baylor, but Paul says Air Force. So what say you?
Baylor is 6-6.
Yeah, after being Big 12 champs last year.
Yeah, being Big 12 champions and then going from 6-6. Air Force 9-3. Again, it's against less tough opponents, but it still wins, still getting the job done. And they're still winning by a good amount. But I think they're gonna hold on to the ball, like you've said, and I think they're gonna run all over that Baylor defense. And I'm gonna go with Air Force. And you know what? It's not going to be a close game. I think
What?
Air Force will win by 12 plus.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This is one of Paul's favorite sayings. 3 things can happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them aren't good. All right. The next bowl up is one that we actually went to. It was Frank Beamer's last game when we took your mom to see Virginia Tech play Tulsa at the Independence Bowl at Independence Stadium in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's going to be on Friday, December the 23rd at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Remember going to that game, the Independence Bowl?
I do.
I think it was called Camping World when we went, though. Neither Louisiana nor Houston has competed in the Independence Bowl. The Raging Cajuns are looking to finish the season with 7 wins, while Dana Holgerson's Cougars attempt to win their last game as members of the AAC. Where are they going? What conference? Are they joining the Big 12 already?
Think so, yeah.
Are they really?
Think so. Pretty sure.
Jeez. They might need to go 12 for 13. Louisiana beat Texas State 41-13 to become bowl eligible. So I'm going to go ahead and do yours, but Fox picks Houston.
ESPN is the exact same. Houston favored by 6.5. Houston has a 64.6% chance to win. Louisiana has a 35.4% chance to win. Louisiana averages 27 points per game. They allow 22 points per game. Houston averages 37 points per game. They allow 33 points per game. And strength of schedule would I think probably Houston. Yeah, Houston. And my prediction, I think Houston wins it. By quite a bit. I think they're going to win comfortably.
I pick Houston as well. What's the chat saying?
Scott, Houston, James, Louisiana, and Paul, Houston.
Yeah, and I pick Houston as well. All right. Next game is the Gasparilla Bowl. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to host the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest against the I spelled it wrong. That's why I teach geography, folks. Oh wait, that doesn't say anything because it's a state. Nothing. Wake Forest Demon Deacons versus the Missouri Tigers, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Since this game will be the first ever meeting between these two Power 5 programs, Missouri will look to summon the form it showed in a close contest loss to defeating national champion Georgia in October, while quarterback Sam Hartman and the Demon Deacons will look to earn 8 wins for the 3rd time in 4 years. Fox's pick, Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest is favored by 2.5. ESPN gives them a 60% chance to win, while Missouri has a 40% chance to win. Wake Forest, they average 36 points per game. They allow 29 points per game. Missouri averages 25 points per game. They allow 25 points per game. And strength of schedule actually goes to Missouri.
Yeah, because they're in the SEC.
Yeah. But again, they lost all those games pretty much. But I'm going to go with Wake Forest
That's what I'm gonna go with as well.
in what should be a close game.
Close game?
Yeah, close game. Should be. It should be. Wake Forest have lost. Hold on, let me see real quick. I know 4 of the last 5.
Paul
they've
says
lost
Missouri.
4 out of the last 5.
James said Wake Forest. Scott says Wake Forest. Who lost 4 or 5?
Wake Forest has lost 4 of the last 5.
Jeez.
They lost to Louisville.
I thought they
North
were doing
Carolina.
really good, like in the middle of the year.
They were. They lost to Louisville, North Carolina State, North Carolina, and Duke. Their one win is against Syracuse.
Jeez. Missouri is scrappy. All right. Moving on. The next bowl game is Saturday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. The Hawaii Bowl. That'd be nice. Be in college and go play in Hawaii. That'd be pretty cool. The Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex in Honolulu, Hawaii is going to host the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders against the San Diego State Aztecs. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says here that the Blue Raiders beat Miami earlier this year, put the money in the bag, and finished 3rd in Conference USA this season. Senior defensive end Jordan Ferguson will be one to watch after amassing 63 tackles, including 16 for loss and 9 sacks. Fox's pick, Middle Tennessee State.
San Diego State is favored by 7. ESPN has a 53% chance to win for San Diego State, a 47% chance for Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee averages 29 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. San Diego State average 21 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And strength of schedule goes to San Diego State. And for my prediction, I'm going to go with San Diego State to cover exactly 7.
Yeah, me too. San Diego State. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, buddy. Vacation Bowl. Scott says San Diego. Paul says Middle Tennessee. James says Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Hey, Jeff, hope you're doing well, bud. All right. You know, another thing that'd be cool to look up is see what kind of swag these athletes, these college football players, the kind of swag that they get just for going to these bowl games. You used to be able to look it up and see what they get. Like, some of these games are a lot better than others as far as the swag that you get. So that's why sometimes players hope they get certain games over certain others. The next game is going to be the Quick Lane Bowl at Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions. That's going to be New Mexico State versus Bowling Green at 2:30 Eastern Time on Monday, December the 26th. I don't know jack squat about either one of these teams. It says the Aggies faced the Falcons team that posted its best finish, 6-6 since 2015. New Mexico State University coach Jerry Kill, I've heard of him. He used to be at Minnesota for a really long time. Also looks to win a bowl game as a coach for the first time in his 32-year career. He's never won a bowl game? Oh, my God. The pick on this one is New Mexico State University for the win.
On ESPN, Bowling Green is favored by 2.5. They give Bowling Green a 52% chance to win. New Mexico State a 48% chance to win. New Mexico State averaged 25 points per game. They allowed 24 points per game. Bowling Green, holy moly. They averaged 23 points per game, and they allow 33 points per game. Yet they're still 6-6, which does not make sense. And strength of schedule, I think, probably goes to Bowling Green. Yeah.
So who you got?
Who is the coach that's never won?
Jerry Kill,
Tennessee coach.
New Mexico State.
I'm gonna go Bowling Green. I don't trust a person who's never won in how many years.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go the opposite and say he gets his first win. New Mexico State. Paul said these games are going to be better than Georgia and Ohio State. Probably. Probably right. All right. You ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, here's something else I found that's pretty cool. TCU has joined the college football playoff field for the first time in program history, so congratulations to them. All right, December 27th. I don't even know how to say this word. The Camellia Bowl, Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Pens Georgia Southern versus Buffalo. Says the Eagles upset Nebraska earlier this season in Clay Helton's year one, but like Buffalo, are 6-6. This game is purely for the right to claim a winning season by the new year. The game also features two outstanding defenders in Georgia Southern linebacker Marquez Watson Trent, who has notched 105 tackles, and Buffalo's Sean Dolak, who has 134. Pick for Fox, Georgia Southern.
Yeah, Georgia Southern is favored by 3.5. They give Georgia Southern a 57.2% chance to win. Buffalo a 42.8% chance to win. Georgia Southern, they average 33 points per game. They allow 32 points per game. Buffalo, they average 29 points per game. They allow 27 points per game. And I think straight to schedule here goes to Georgia Southern. Make sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia Southern here.
You go Georgia Southern?
Yeah.
That's what I go for as well. See what the guys put. Meg says Georgia Southern. Paul says Georgia Southern. Scott didn't put a team. There he goes. Georgia Southern. That's what I agree as well. All right. Next game. The next game is going to be your First Responders Bowl, which is at Gerald J. Ford Memorial Stadium in Dallas, Texas. This game is going to pin the Memphis Tigers against Utah State Aggies, 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. With early losses to Alabama and Weber State, Utah State hardly looked like a bowl team. But Blake Anderson's squad finished 6-6 with a chance to go out with a win against Ryan Silverfield's Tigers, whose best win this season came against North Texas. Pick Utah State.
Complete opposite over here.
Is it really?
Yeah, Memphis is favored by 7.5. ESPN gives Memphis a 80.5% chance to win, and they give Utah State a 19.5% chance to win.
Woo.
Memphis, they
Didn't we
averaged.
watch BYU whoop up on Utah State?
Let me check real quick. I
One of the
think
games
that
we
was.
did. I think it was
I think that was your stream.
just me.
Yeah, because it was 38-26 final score BYU.
Yeah.
You know what? Not BYU, Utah State were 1-4 after that game.
Jeez.
So to end up 6-6, pretty good. But Memphis, they average 35 points per game. They allow 27 points per game. Utah State, they average 23 points per game. They allow 30 points per game. And I think strength of schedule here goes to Memphis.
You're right,
And
Jeff. I'm excited. Go ahead.
trying to think. What's your prediction?
My prediction, I think Memphis has the better zoo, so they win in that category. But for this game, I think Utah State will win.
Oh, wow. That is great switch. Good switch.
Hey, I mean, we've been to both, man. Which zoo do you like better, Memphis or Utah?
Memphis.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to go with Memphis here. They were talking about how they don't really
Really?
win those. Yeah, they were talking about how they don't really win those.
Bold. That's bold. Very bold.
See, you're thinking that, but it's really not. I don't
Way
think.
bold.
Because, like that website said, they lose these big old games, but they've only, they lost to Houston by 1. They lost to East Carolina by 2 and 4 overtimes. They lost to Tulane by 10. They lost to UCF by 7. They lost to SMU by 3, which are all good teams. And I in very close games. I'm gonna go with Memphis. I was about to switch and say Utah State, but I'm gonna go with Memphis. Yeah.
There you go. All right. The next game, Battle of the Carolina. Birmingham Bowl at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to feature the.
Oh, one
Coastal-
second. One second. I have to look up something real quick. I just saw some breaking news. It's not really breaking news, but it's just very interesting to me. South Florida. Were they not good for like a couple years?
I don't think so. Why?
They weren't?
No.
Oh, well, never mind then. I could have sworn they were like decent for a little bit.
A long time ago they were.
I continue. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Anyways, Battle of the Carolinas are going to feature Coastal Carolina Chanticleers versus the East Carolina Pirates. After playing for the Sun Belt title, the 9-3 Chants will look to finish their season strong with a win against the Pirates. But with Shadwell accepting the head coach position at Liberty, the program could be in flux enough for ECU to pick off the Chants. So here it is talking about how a coach leaving to go to another team can affect a team's bowl performance. The pick for Fox is East Carolina. What say you, sir?
I looked it up later. They were good for a little bit in 2016 and 2017. They went 10-2 in 2017, 11-2 in 2016.
Yep.
Did you see their record this year?
No.
1-11.
Jeez.
All right. East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Battle of Carolinas. ESPN, wow, has East Carolina favored by 9.5. They give them a 64.5 chance to win. They give Coastal Carolina a 35.5% chance to win. Coastal Carolina averages 29 points per game. They allow 30 points per game. East Carolina averages 30 points per game. They allow 27 points per game. And strength of schedule, I think, goes to East Carolina.
So your pick?
It's not going to be, 10 plus win by East Carolina, but they're going to win. It's going to be a very close game. Down to the wire, East Carolina wins.
East Carolina. Okay. I picked Coastal Carolina. All right.
And I think the reason I'm picking East Carolina is because Coastal Carolina, they lost 47-7 against James Madison and 45-26 against Troy. So they've had a couple of bad games.
Yeah. All right, here comes an interesting right here. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to feature the Wisconsin Badgers against the Oklahoma State Cowboys. 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time on December the 27th. It says, after looking like the class of the Big 12, the Pokes fell short of their expectations to return to the Big 12 title game. Now they face a great challenge in Wisconsin. Though Luke Fickell has been named head coach, it's defensive savvy Jim Leonhard, who should be the worry for Mike Gundy's squad. This Fox has Wisconsin with the win.
Yeah. Real quick, back to the Coastal Carolina game. Did you see the touchdown to interception ratio of the Coastal Carolina quarterback? He has 24 passing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions.
There you go.
All right,
I knew he
Oklahoma
was
State.
good.
Yeah, Oklahoma State versus Wisconsin. Let's see here. Wisconsin is favored by 3. ESPN gives Wisconsin a 53.5% chance to win. Oklahoma State a 46.5% chance to win. Wisconsin, they average 26 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. Oklahoma State, they average 32 points per game. They allow 29 points per game. What happens to that great defense?
They're in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. And honestly, strength of schedule could probably be even. So I think Wisconsin's going to kill them. Hate to say it because Oklahoma State seemed pretty good start of the year, but they have completely fallen off the earth. These past couple of
Spencer's not going to play. I highly
Nope.
doubt.
He's gone. Isn't he gone? Like done?
Yeah, he's entering the transfer portal. Yeah. So
Yeah, I just don't see how Oklahoma State can win this game unless Wisconsin just sucks.
I've seen Wisconsin lose to some pretty trash teams this year, though.
Yep.
So,
But I've also seen Oklahoma State lose to some pretty trash teams this year,
oh, burn.
as in West Virginia, Oklahoma, Kansas. They actually beat Kansas, so or not. They actually beat Texas, so
Oh yeah. Huh?
yeah. because they didn't commit a single penalty apparently.
Oh yeah, we were on the group cruise, huh? When
Yep.
they had that game. For me, I mean,
No bias. No bias. Come on.
you guys know me.
If you were not an Oklahoma State fan, who
You
would you
know
go?
my school. You guys
Oh,
know
Lord.
who I go for. But in the case of this game, with this team, just like this season, by the way, I think Wisconsin's gonna win. Thought you wanted to hear?
That's a pretty grown-up thing to do. I'm proud of you.
Penn State's playing pretty good right now, Jeff. Good chance they win the Rose Bowl. All right, moving on. Military Bowl. That's cool. Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland. We have not been to the Navy football stadium, but we actually did go and take a tour of Navy a few years back. We went around the entire campus. Really beautiful place. I really enjoyed being at Navy. But that game is going to host the UCF Knights, who are about to be members of the Big 12 Conference, right, Adric?
I think so, pretty sure.
And the Duke Blue Devils, Scott's favorite school, Duke. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, December 28th. The Knights fell just short of playing in the Cotton Bowl with their loss to Tulane in the AAC title game. They'll look to finish on a high against Mike Elko's Duke squad, which exceeded expectations by becoming bowl eligible before Thanksgiving. The pick on this one from Fox is UCF.
There's no spread for this game.
Hey, Juma.
Game here.
Scott's laughing at your comment. A grown-up thing to do.
UCF is favored. They have them at a 57% chance to win. Duke at a 43% chance to win. UCF, they average 34 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. Duke, they average 33 points per game. They allow 22 points per game. And strength of schedule, what would you say?
You know who UCF's former quarterback is?
Who is it?
The guy that was trash at OU this year.
Oh.
What's his name?
I can't think of it.
I can't either. But that's where he came from, was UCF.
Duke, I'm going to give them the harder schedule here. Who wins?
This one's split down the middle in the chat. Najuma said Duke. Jeff said UCF. Paul said UCF. Scott said with a crap emoji, I'll take the turds.
That's good, Duke. I do not know. It really is an even game. Should be a good one. What do you think? Non-biased.
I'll take the turds.
I still have no idea. But I'm going to give it to Duke.
Yeah! Woo-hoo!
I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No explanation, just Duke's going to win in a very close, high-scoring game.
Okay, so on this day, this is where Paul's going to have his eyes glued to. He's going to have his eyes glued on the Liberty Bowl, which is going to be taking place in Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. Might even try to go to this game, Paul. Probably be a pretty daggum good game. You know who's playing in the Liberty Bowl? That's going to be none other than your Brock Chalk Jayhawks, who started the year really awesome, didn't end so awesome, versus Paul Vines, Arkansas Pink Sweet Razorbacks. Says the Jayhawks are not unlike the Razorbacks. were a year ago on the come up. While KU has a ways to go, they're bowling for the first time and looking for their first winning season since 2008. This marks just the second time Kansas 6-6 has made a Liberty Bowl appearance against an Arkansas 6-6 team looking to finish the season with a winning record, just like the Jayhawks. Fox's pick, Kansas.
Hold on one second.
That looks much better.
Wow. They have not gone against each other in over 100 years. Well,
You know what I'm
Kansas,
noticing? A lot of these football games are being played inside baseball stadiums.
Hmm.
All right, Scott, take care, buddy.
Arkansas favored by 3. ESPN's giving them a 58.2% chance to win. Kansas a 41.8% chance to win. Kansas, they average 34 points per game. They allow 33 points per game. Arkansas, they average 30 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. Strength of schedule goes to Arkansas. High scoring game. No defense at all. Can tell you that much. There's going to be no defense. A lot of offense, but I'm going to give it to Arkansas. Just because Kansas has looked to their old selves these past couple of weeks. What do you got?
Oh, boo. I got Kansas. I want to see him do well.
Yeah,
Been a
you
long
want to
time.
see it. Yeah, I want to see it as well, but maybe next year.
All right. Moving on. This is Scott's game. Hope you're still here, Scott, because we're about to go over your game, buddy. Holiday Bowl. From home of the San Diego Padres. Petco Park is going to host Scott's North Carolina Tar Heels. By the way, Scott, check it out, buddy. North Carolina Tar Heels against the Oregon Ducks. Quack. 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The Tar Heels were once a favorite to defeat Clemson for their first conference title in 40 years, but they fell short again. UNC has lost their last 3 games in a row, but they'll get an Oregon team in transition. Oregon offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham is set to take over as head coach at Arizona State in 2023, and UNC might take advantage of a program still sorting through its coaching staff. However, the Ducks will be prepared defensively to meet the challenge Drake May and the UNC offense present. Pick Oregon.
Yeah, same over here. Oregon is favored by 14. They're going to give them a 70% chance to win. North Carolina, a 30% chance to win. Oregon averages 40 points per game. They allow 27 points per game. North Carolina, they average 35 points per game. They allow 31 points per game. In strength of schedule, we'd probably go to Oregon. What do you think here?
I think I'm going to go for the Ducks. Juma said North Carolina. I said North Carolina. Paul said North Carolina. Jeff said North Carolina. I say Oregon.
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with North Carolina. Just because it seems like Oregon is just too inconsistent.
Really?
Yeah, they choked
North
against Oregon
Carolina's
State.
consistent, but they're consistently bad.
Yeah, but they're consistently average. Okay, not consistently bad. They're consistently average. Oregon could either be really good or they could be average. So it'll be a close, high-scoring game. But I think North Carolina just edges out because Oregon can't finish in close games.
Paul says this may be the best bowl season in a long time. Yeah, guys, like I said, I will have that college bowl pick 'em up and running on the Facebook group. Make sure you message me if you're interested in playing that. That's a good looking hoodie you got on. It better be. $85 hoodie that I would not have bought for myself. That's for dang sure. All right. Next game up is a home game for one team, pretty much. But I know exactly how good they are this year. OSU lost to them recently, so who knows? So I think you said that, didn't you? The Texas Bowl from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Texans. It's going to feature Texas Tech versus Ole Miss, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Didn't you say that OSU just lost to Texas Tech?
I think they did. Yeah. No. That's where Oklahoma State won. 41-31.
Texas lost to Texas Tech.
That was like week 2, week 3.
In year one, Joey McGuire not only beat Texas and Oklahoma, but has a chance to avenge the Red Raiders' 20-point loss to the Rebels in 2018. With a win, the Red Raiders can earn their first 8-win season since Baker Mayfield was quarterback of the team in 2013. Pick Texas Tech. You remember that, right? That's where he was before he went to OU, Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech.
Yeah, Ole Miss is favored by 4. ESPN gives them a 61.7% chance to win. Texas Tech a 38.3% chance to win. Texas Tech averages 34 points per game. They allow 29 points per game. Ole Miss, they average 34 points per game. They allow 24 points per game. And strength of schedule goes to Ole Miss.
Hey, John, good to see you. Welcome in.
I don't know. I do not know about this game.
I'd say gun up. Red Raiders.
Ole Miss, another one of those inconsistent teams, I think.
So you say Red Raiders?
No, didn't say that.
What?
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss just because I think their defense is gonna step up and play good. So.
Hey, you got to stop DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. Can you imagine that for a college, both those guys at the same time as wide receivers? That would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss, huh? That's what you said?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
All right. Thursday, December 29th, Pinstripe Bowl, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York City. 2 p.m. Eastern Time is going to feature a home game for the Syracuse Orange against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. This game could feature 2 of the best tailbacks in the country in Mohamed Ibrahim and Sean Tucker if they play. Ibrahim has been otherworldly in the backfield for Minnesota, rushing for 1,494 yards, averaging more than 144 rush yards a game, and the engine that makes PJ Flex boat row or offense go. Pick in this game for Fox, Minnesota.
Well, Minnesota is favored by 7.5. ESPN gives them a 62% chance to win. Syracuse a 38% chance to win. Both teams actually average 28 points per game. Syracuse lets up 22 points per game. Minnesota lets up 13 points per game. And strength schedule goes to Minnesota. And I'm going to go with Minnesota just because of the defense. And Syracuse has lost 4 of the last 5. Actually, they've lost 5 out of their last 6. They started off 6-0. They're now 7-5.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. You know, it sucks for them because they had to go against Clemson, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Florida State, Wake Forest, and then they beat Boston College.
Let's see who the chat's picking. They both say Syracuse, Scott and Paul.
Did Notre Dame make a poll?
I pick Syracuse as well.
You're going to pick Syracuse?
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
I like the coach. All right. Cheez It Bowl. Cheez It. Camping World Stadium, which is pretty much at Disney World in Orlando. It's going to feature the Oklahoma Sooners against the number 13 Florida State Seminoles, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I think Florida State's going to smoke them. But anyway.
Yeah.
OU lost 4 of its 6 games by a single score and 3 by a field goal. If the offense and defense can play well in the same game, they ought to match up well against Mike Norvell's Florida State. Fox's pick, OU.
What? They pick OU to win?
Yep.
That is the stupidest thing I've heard all week. Florida State, they're favored by 7.5. They have a 64.7% chance to win. Oklahoma has a 35.3% chance to win. Oklahoma, they average 33 points per game. They allow 29 points per game. Florida State averages 36 points per game. They allow 19 points per game. And strength of schedule probably goes to Oklahoma. But it does not matter because Florida State's going to kill them.
That's what you think,
I cannot
too?
believe someone actually picked Oklahoma to win that game.
You know what I can't believe?
What can you not believe?
I cannot believe that your favorite college football team gets a home game.
Yay.
You know that?
Nope, did not know that at all.
They get a home game for their bowl game. Let me show you. The next game up on the menu is the Alamo Bowl at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. And it's at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to feature the number 20 Texas Longhorns against the number 12 Washington Huskies. With Washington possessing one of the best passing offenses in the country and 2 former Washington coaches, including one head coach and Steve Sarkisian on the UT sideline, this game should mean a bit more for each party. Even if it doesn't, Michael Penix Jr. and Bijan Robinson, if they play, are worth a watch. This Fox has Texas winning.
Yep. Texas is favored by 6. The ESPN gives Texas a 75% chance to win. Washington a 25. Texas averages 35 points per game. They allow 21 points per game. Washington averages 40 points per game. They allow 26 points per game. And strength of schedule goes to Texas, probably, thinking.
Yeah.
It
I'll
all
just
comes
tell you,
down.
I picked Texas, Cedric.
It all comes down to Bijan Robinson. And even if he doesn't play, I still give Texas the win, but in a lot closer. So if Bijan plays, I think Texas will kill him. Bijan doesn't play, it'll be a very close game, but Texas still wins. Just because Texas wins those type of matchups.
The Juma and Paul both think Texas will win. All right. Next one. The Dukes Mayo Bowl from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's the home of the Panthers, I think. That's going to feature Tua, his little brother, versus number 23, North Carolina State, noon Eastern. Says, without Devin Leary, the Wolfpack took a step back, and Mike Locksley's Maryland has played great, gutsy football all season. The Terps should handle their one-time ACC foe. Pick Maryland.
Well, Maryland is favored by 1. ESPN gives Maryland a 53.4% chance to win. North Carolina State a 46.6% chance to win. Maryland averages 29 points per game. They allow 24 points per game. North Carolina State averages 25 points per game. They allow 19 points a game. And strength of schedule, I'm going to give it to Maryland just because of Ohio State and Penn State really carries it. I give it to NC State. I'll give it to NC State.
NC State, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What does the chat think?
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah. I'm still thinking. You don't.
That's your favorite state, Adrian. Come on. That's what you used to always say. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I do not know. I'm going to go with Maryland.
Hey, there you go.
In a very, very, very close game.
All right. Next game up on the menu is the Sun Bowl from Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. That game is going to feature Pitt Panthers versus number 18 UCLA at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. With Dorian Thompson-Robinson headed to the NFL, Chip Kelly's Bruins will be without their first 5-year starter against the Panther team that possesses one of the best running backs in the country in Israel Abanikanda. Pick from Fox is UCLA.
Well, ESPN, UCLA is favored by 6.5. ESPN gives UCLA a 54.6% chance to win. Pittsburgh a 45.4% chance to win. Pittsburgh averages 31 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. UCLA averages 39 points per game, allow 28 points per game. And strength of schedule goes to UCLA. And I think UCLA wins it with a decent margin.
These guys
What do you got?
I'd probably go with probably Pitt too. It's gonna be hard to play without your quarterback. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about either one of those teams, to be honest with you. So I'll just put Pitt.
I did a whole play-by-play with UCLA and Washington.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. It was UCLA versus Washington.
Oh.
And that offense of UCLA can be pretty good.
Yeah, but the quarterback
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Their running back has 195 carries, 1,359 yards, 14 touchdowns. Their top receiver is amazing. I say UCLA wins. Plus, Pittsburgh's quarterback isn't good. Have you seen his touchdown to interception ratio? 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Oh, Lord. 50-50, huh?
Yep.
Jeez. All right, man. You ready for the next one? This
Yes,
one
I
should be a
am.
butt kicking. Butt kicking. Gator Bowl, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Number 21, Notre Dame versus number 19, South Carolina. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Gamecocks have been giant killing in their last two outings, knocking off both Orange Bowl participants Tennessee and Clemson in back-to-back weeks. With Notre Dame quarterback Drew Pine entering the transfer portal, Notre Dame will have to show up tough if it doesn't want to end up a pelt on the South Carolina Hunting Room Bowl. Pick South Carolina.
Yeah, Notre Dame actually just lost their number one receiver, their tight end, Mayer. He gonna sit out this game.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah. I think South Carolina wins this. We don't have to go even through all this averaging and percentages stuff because
They're going to smoke them.
because the ESPN gives Notre Dame a 67% chance to win. There's no way. There's no way they're going to win this game.
All right, the next game, the Arizona Bowl, Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. Going to feature the Ohio Bobcats against the Cowboys. Wyoming. Might be difficult for Wyoming to overcome the loss of Titus Swin, who became just 12th player in history to rush for 1,000 yards at the program. They gave the NFL Buffalo Bills star Josh Allen. Ohio ought to be mad about after falling short of winning the MAC title against Toledo and take it all out on the Pokes. Fox pick, Ohio.
Yep. Ohio is favored by 1. ESPN gives them a 54.3% chance to win. Wyoming a 45.7% chance to win. Ohio averages 32 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. Wyoming averages 20 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. Strength of schedule, I'd probably have to go with Ohio here. Yeah, I think Ohio's going to win this one.
Ohio? They probably will, but that's not who I'm going for.
You're so biased, so biased.
Hey, you can't say that. I picked against OSU.
Yeah, but you almost cried doing it.
Darn right, I almost cried doing it. All right. Next matchup is. What is the next matchup? There it is. Next matchup, Battle of the Orange. Probably why they're playing in the Orange Bowl. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, where we just went. One of the smallest NFL stadiums I've ever seen. That thing was tiny.
What was?
The Miami Dolphins football field. That's going to be your number 7 Clemson Tigers against your number 6 Tennessee Volunteers. Says, could there be more orange for the Orange Bowl? Hardly. The Vols and the Tigers will meet to find out who will likely roll into the 2023 offseason, not only with a New Year's 6 bowl win. Pick Tennessee.
What? They picked Tennessee. Man, you got to stop listening to that website. Even freaking ESPN picked Tennessee. Well, let me tell you, they're not going to win. Tennessee will not win. They lost their best quarterback. And a lot of people are actually mad he's not one of the Heisman finalists because he definitely deserves it.
He does, for sure.
But Clemson is favored by 7. They have a 40. See, but that does not. Okay. Clemson is favored by 7. ESPN gives them a 42% chance to win, with Tennessee at a 58% chance to win.
Better turn that down.
Tennessee averages 47 points per game. They're not going to now. And they allow 23 points per game. Clemson averages 34 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And straight to schedule goes to Tennessee. But Clemson should win. Clemson should win. Pretty easily, I think. What do you got?
Tennessee.
You got Tennessee winning?
Yes, sir. Clemson.
Okay.
We talked all year, Adrian, how we thought Clemson was overrated.
Yeah, they are overrated. It's just Tennessee is not good right now. Unfortunately, if both teams are fully healthy, if Hendon Hooker was playing, it would be a very good, high-scoring game, instant classic. I'd give it to Tennessee, but he's not playing. Tore his ACL. Clemson, they just beat North Carolina. They just made a quarterback change that they really needed to do earlier. Clemson should win. And maybe even easily.
All right. This next game, it's Mom's birthday, Saturday, December 31st. Sugar Bowl, Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Number 9, Big 12 champs, Kansas State versus number 5, Alabama. Noon Eastern. This game is about Bryce Young, his absence or his presence. If the 2021 Heisman winner plays, Alabama ought to challenge the Big 12 champs. If he doesn't, K-State should beat back-to-back SEC West opponents in bowl games, marking their best season in Manhattan since 2012. Fox's pick, Kansas State. My
Well,
pick,
over here,
Kansas State.
Alabama is favored by 3.5. ESPN gives them a 72.8% chance to win. Kansas State a 27.2% chance to win. Alabama averages 40 points per game. They allow 18 points per game. Kansas State averages 33 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And of course, Alabama wins the strength of schedule. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. This is the number one game I'm looking forward to.
Makes sense.
Forget Texas. Forget the playoffs. I really want to watch this game because I want to see how Alabama fans react if they lose, because Alabama fans have been so mad that they didn't get into the playoffs because they said they could easily beat Kansas State. But if Bryce Young plays, it would easily be the number one game in all the bowl games. To me, at least.
No, you're right. I agree.
If Bryce Young plays, both teams play their best players or are fully healthy or whatever, I am going to go with the upset.
Alabama.
Yeah, you would say that. I'm going to go with Kansas State to win. I think Kansas State will silence Alabama fans and the team, and I hope they do it. I hope they do it so bad. But if Bryce Young doesn't play, Kansas State wins, and people are going to be like, oh, we didn't have Bryce Young.
Yep.
It wasn't actually completely fair. Oh, be quiet. Who cares?
You're not wrong.
So I hope Young plays, and I hope Kansas State still wins.
Paulin and Juma both say Alabama. We both say Kansas State. Yeah. Kansas State all the way. By the way, for those that may not know, going way back to, I think it was July.
Oh, Lord, you're going to be talking about this.
I picked
like, for the rest of your life. You're going to be like, oh, wow.
The Big 12 Conference, the surprise pick winner, and Kansas State. What can I say?
Who did I pick?
Hey, T Green, welcome in. Kansas State can't beat Alabama. Bet they can't. Bet they can't.
I can't remember who I picked. I will tell you who Alabama is not going to be able to stop. I don't care what Alabama fans say.
Quarterback.
No.
Who?
Little Christian McCaffrey. Deuce Vaughn. Remember him?
Deuce Vaughn, yeah.
He had
Kansas State has an
amazing game against TCU. Yep, that's it. Plus, they're going to get Martinez back.
They are?
Yep.
That's good. That's good. That's what I was talking about. They can't stop right there. All right. Next game up, the Music City Bowl. From the home, Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, home of your Tennessee Titans, is going to host Iowa, who I've heard nothing but trash talked about the entire season, versus a team that I thought was actually pretty good or supposed to be, Kentucky. Noon Eastern time. Said, if you told me the over-under in this game was 10, I'd believe you. These teams play great defense and are anemic, sometimes dead, in the case of Iowa, on offense. But the Hawkeyes are feeling good about earning the commitment of former Michigan quarterback and Big Ten champion Cade McNamara heading into 2023. Meanwhile, UK will play without NFL draft-bound Will Levis. Pick Iowa. What say you?
Well, it's completely 50-50 over here.
See ya,
ESPN.
Paul. Thanks for being here.
As spread, Iowa won. Iowa, they score 17 points per game. They allow 14 points per game. Kentucky averages 22 points per game. They allow 19 points per game. And this right here, honestly, is going to be the most boring bowl game we have seen in years. There will be nearly zero offense. It'll be a complete defensive battle. It'll be like the Patriots versus Rams Super Bowl. It'll be horrible to watch. And those who I was going to say something I'm not going to say it now. But I'm going to give Kentucky the win here. You said Levis wasn't playing?
Meanwhile, Kentucky will play without NFL draft-bound Will Levis.
Oof, man, that's going to be hard. But still, I'm going to give it to Kentucky. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Kentucky. Iowa cannot do anything on offense.
Me too. All right. The ReliaQuest Bowl. Again, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Monday, January 2nd, noon Eastern time, is going to end number 22, Mississippi State Bulldogs versus Illinois Fighting Illini. This game should be one hell of a fight. Illini coach Brett Bielema would run the ball on every play if he thought it could help him win, and Bulldogs coach Mike Leach won't run it until he knows it can help him win. But the Illini hold the ball and play stifling defense. Leach is going to need his best players to play like his best if they're to win. Pick Illinois.
Well, Mississippi State is favored by 1. ESPN gives Mississippi State a 54.4% chance to win. Illinois a 45.6% chance to win. Mississippi State, they average 32 points per game. They allow 24 points per game. Illinois averages 25 points per game. They allow 12 points per game. And strength of schedule goes to Mississippi State, obviously. I don't know yet. What do you think here? Prediction?
I'll pick Mississippi State because I like.
Is Rogers playing their quarterback? Did it say anything? Hmm. I think I'm gonna give it to Mississippi State, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Illinois wins. Should be a close game. Should be a close game, but I'm going to give it to Mississippi State.
Yes, sir. Likewise. All right. The next one up is, let's see here. Next game up is the Citrus Bowl. The Citrus Bowl is going to be Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Again, that same stadium, I think, right by Disney World. And that is going to be I couldn't. Oh, there it is. That is going to be number 17 LSU versus Purdue, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. The Boilermakers have a chance to earn their 9th win this season with a win against the SEC West champs. But the Bayou Bengals looked lethal through the air with Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback against Georgia, and he'll be a threat in this battle for bragging rights between the nation's two best conferences. Pick Purdue.
Well, LSU is favored by 10.5. ESPN gives it to LSU with a 68.7% chance to win. Purdue at a 31.3% chance to win. LSU averages 32 points per game. They allow 23 points per game. Purdue averages 28 points per game. They allow 24 points per game. You know, the schedule goes to LSU. And yeah, I'm going to give to LSU. Not by 10 plus or whatever. It's going to be a close one. But I think LSU wins it.
Not so fast. I'm picking Purdue Boilermakers.
Any reason to that?
Nope.
Sounds about right.
All right. Here we go. Next game is the Cotton Bowl Classic, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowgirls. Got a pin number 16, conference champs, Tulane. Green Wave versus number 10, USC Trojans. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With Lincoln Riley detailing the severity of star quarterback Caleb Williams' hamstring injury, it's an open question as to whether he'll play against the Green Wave. Tulane, who has played its best season since 1998 and won the American Athletic Conference crown, might not care either way. They're just that good. Pick, both Fox's pick and my pick, Tulane.
USC is favored by 1.5. ESPN gives USC a 58% chance to win. Tulane a 42% chance to win. Tulane averages 35 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. USC averages 41 points per game. They allow 28 points per game. And of course, schedule goes to USC. And yeah, this game right here kind of comes down to if Caleb Williams plays or not. If he does, I'm going to give it to USC. If he doesn't, I'm going to give it to Tulane.
Oh, so it just depends on.
Yeah, it just depends if he plays or not.
All right, then. Fair enough. All right. I don't know if good old Jeffrey is still in the chat or not, but we've gotten to his game now, and that is the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, Rose Bowl. That game is at, let me see. I had to go all the way back up to the top to enter the last teams into the deal. But the Rose Bowl is going to be the Utah Utes versus the Penn State Nittany Lions. Of course, you already know my pick in the game, Adric.
Yeah.
It says Utah is the closest thing on the West Coast to a Biden-nonsense Big Ten squad. The Utes possess an outstanding offensive line and want to own the line of scrimmage, just like Penn State. The Penn State Nittany Lions will play without star corner Joey Porter Jr. and wide receiver Parker Washington against Kyle Whittingham. Cam Rising and the Utes in a game Utah fell just short of winning against Ohio State last year. This year, they'll look to finish what they started. Pick Utah.
Yep. Utah is favored by 3. ESPN gives Utah a 57.7% chance to win. Penn State a 42.3% chance to win. Penn State averages 35 points per game. They allow 18 points per game. Utah averages 40 points per game. They allow 20 points per game. And of course, actually not of course, who does the schedule go to? I'm going to give it to Penn State, but they did lose to Ohio State and Michigan. So I'll give it to Utah.
All right.
So you're going to pick Utah here?
Yes, sir.
I think I am as well. I'm going to go with Utah.
Utah. I pick all those mountain states, man. And now I'll start picking Colorado too, since they got prime time. All right. Oh, by the way, they already named their starting quarterback at Utah.
Who?
Never guess who it is.
Who?
Deion Sanders' son. He's coming over.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Utah.
Oh, no.
I was like, why? What?
Colorado.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't remember where I saw that from.
All right. So here are your playoff games.
Ooh, so we're at the end now, huh?
Yeah, three left. 2 games. First game, Saturday, December 31st, semifinal game, the Fiesta Bowl from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. 4 p.m. Eastern Time is going to put your number 2, and I believe they are the Big Ten champs, right? Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah.
Versus the Big 12 regular season champs, number 3, TCU. It says, TCU got to this game by showing guts. But Michigan knows what this atmosphere is like, and it is chasing glory. Pick Michigan.
Yep. Michigan is favored by 7.5. ESPN gives them a 66.5% chance to win. TCU a 33.5% chance to win. Both teams averaging 40 points per game. TCU allows 25 points per game. Michigan allows 13 points per game. And what do you say schedule here is? Michigan?
Yep.
Yeah, Michigan.
The Juma says Michigan.
I do not know. I think TCU was robbed because they scored a touchdown. Yeah, because ball passed over, yet they didn't call it, didn't review it. So I think TCU should have won. Plus, they showed Max Duggan looked like, honestly, how hard he played and put his body on the line. Did you see him? Did you watch any of those highlights? He had he needed oxygen, but he just didn't. He didn't take any. He was out. He was worn out. He put his body on the line. End up losing. Hate to see it. So he actually has himself not MVP, Heisman case. But we're looking at both teams here. Michigan just seems like great, amazing. Their offense looks great. Their defense is great. And TCU's defense is not great. That defense is not going to be able to stop the Michigan offense, especially whenever they go against Big 12 offenses. Michigan, I think, is just gonna score every single drive. Really, it's gonna be tough to stop them. And that Michigan defense, only allowing 13 points per game. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to go with Michigan. I would absolutely love to see TCU win, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Michigan wins this one.
I hear you. I hear you, but I don't agree with you. Honestly.
That's because you didn't watch the game. You didn't watch the Big 12 championship game.
No, I didn't.
So what do you got?
But what have I said about TCU all year? What do they have? Speed.
It doesn't matter whenever their defense is slow.
I don't know how fast Michigan is,
Exactly.
but I'm going to count on the TCU speed to pull through. So I, my friend, am picking TCU.
One more thing that I see right here.
Yes, sir.
TCU head coach Sonny Dykes
Tony Dykes.
does not seem confident in his team.
Is that what he says?
Yep. And usually whenever coaches aren't confident in their team, it doesn't work out too well. So I'll give Michigan the win.
That's okay. I'm confident in them.
I don't think they care what you think. I don't think they're going to see this. So, too bad.
Final playoff game. Second playoff game. Semifinal game. Peach Bowl. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. That's real fair. Number 1, Georgia versus number 4, Ohio State. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. A healthy Ohio State looks built to defeat a Georgia team that has been anything but infallible throughout its 2022 run. Pick Ohio State.
What? Oh my goodness. Who is this? What website are you looking at right now?
Me.
It's your pick, Ohio State?
Well, they are, but this is Fox Sports.
Well, I'm never listening to Fox Sports ever again in my life. They have said the stupidest predictions I've heard in a very long time. Georgia favored by 6.5.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Sorry, go ahead.
ESPN is giving Georgia the edge 58% to 42%. Ohio State averages 44 points per game. They allow 19 points per game. Georgia averages 39 points per game. They allowed 13 points per game. Now, I will tell you what this exactly is. Like, this game represents a very good offensive team and a very good defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
Battle it out. And from what I've watched in college football and the NFL, and really in any sport, is that the defensive team wins. So I'm going to go with Georgia here. What do you got?
Told you what I got.
Oh, yeah, you got Ohio State. Yeah, you're biased, so.
Hey, George.
Exactly.
All right. So then, with that being said, your championship game is
Well, yours is a complete opposite from mine. So let's hear yours first.
TCU.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell you, if Michigan cannot stop the TCU offense, Georgia will. Okay, Georgia will demolish that offense.
Georgia's not going to beat Ohio State, though.
Oh my goodness.
You want me
Final.
to read you what Fox says?
What is? Oh Lord. What does Fox say? Let's see what Fox says.
So the championship game is Monday, January 9th at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. They've got, of course, Georgia versus Ohio State winner versus Michigan TCU winner. They're projecting this will be Ohio State versus Michigan. The game, again, but this time with a national title on the line. I love it. Pick Ohio State.
What in the world? Are you kidding me?
That's what they said.
Well, they are dumb.
Let's
You know
hear
what?
yours.
If this comes back to bite me, I don't care. I'll put out a full apology to all Ohio State fans, but that's not happening. It'll be Georgia versus Michigan. Should be a good game, but I think Georgia goes back to back.
All right. Final thoughts?
I cannot wait to watch Alabama versus Kansas State. That's it. That's all I got.
My final thoughts are that I agree with Paul when he said earlier that some of the smaller matchups are going to be better than some of the bigger matchups. Like even the earlier games where most people don't care about, it's going to be very entertaining. And I do feel like it's going to be fun to watch. And again, I would recommend anybody who's watching this live, anybody who's watching this on replay, if you guys are a fan of college football, message me on Facebook or message me at this email address right here. Let me know if you'd be interested in playing College Bowl Pick'em. It's a lot of fun. And, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the whole thing getting started. And even though I suck at regular season College Pick'em,
Good Lord, man. You did bad. Let's tell everyone real quick what happened. So
most of the time I do pretty dang well at Bowl Pick'em.
Well, oh, okay, yeah, we'll pick them. Yeah, sure. Want to just tell everyone the fun stat that we saw with Paul and you? How Paul missed like 3 weeks, yet you still are in last place, and you played every single week.
No, I didn't. I didn't do the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, but he already beat you. Oh my Lord, that's whenever you were. That's because you were already in last place. That's why you didn't play the last 2 weeks, because you were already in last place.
All right, guys. So that's all we have. Adric, do you have anything coming up on your channel, or do you have anything you want to tell everybody that you have coming up?
Maybe something tomorrow. Maybe.
Tomorrow?
Probably.
Cool. Then for us, here in a couple hours, we're going to be having what I think is probably going to be one of the best trivia nights that we've had. If the crowd shows up for it, I'm excited about it. We've made some changes to our trivia, and it's going to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation trivia. So you're going to be having the Griswolds talking about the Griswolds. So we're looking forward to it. But thank you guys for being here. Please don't forget to subscribe. Give us a like. Share us out. Both channels, if you will. If you're connected to me, make sure you're connected to Poxy Rain as well. He'd very much appreciate it. He's a little over 200, working his way up to 250. And we are slowly but surely climbing as well. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And Adric, take us out, man. Till next time, man. Take time to make memories. We'll see you guys. Thank you.